Panasonic.
The Canon PowerShot G7X Mark II offers improvements over its predecessor, making it more comfortable for shooting while maintaining its compact size and capable performance. The G7X II is built around a 1-inch type CMOS sensor, giving it better image quality than a small sensor compact camera or a smartphone. The built-in lens is a fast f1.8 to 2.8 24 to 100 mm zoom, providing a lot of reach and decent low-light capabilities in a small package. The tilting touchscreen LCD makes it easy to set up and take your shots from any angle, making it ideal for selfies or street photography. The image quality, especially color rendition, is excellent on the G7X II. Its fast burst shooting enables you to capture the action. The grip is comfortable in the hand, and the control ring around the lens can be set to smooth or clicky, making it useful for both photo and video shooting. Our criticisms of the G7X II are a relatively disappointing battery life and slightly mushy fine details in JPEGs. Overall, the Canon G7X II is a well-designed enthusiast compact camera that can capture good quality photos and videos. This pocketable camera is a significant improvement over its predecessor and sits near the top of its class. For more information about the Canon G7X II and all things photographic, head to dpreview.com.
Hi, I'm Sam from dpreview.com, and this is the Nikon Coolpix P900. It is Nikon's biggest super zoom and includes the world's most extensive zoom range with up to 83 times magnification. 83 times sounds like a lot because it is. It reaches from the usefully wide 24mm equivalent to the almost incomprehensible 2000mm equivalent. And thanks to impressively effective image stabilization, that range is genuinely usable. Keen photographers may be disappointed by the camera's inability to capture RAW files, but the P900 still has an awful lot going for it. It's got both an electronic viewfinder for shooting in bright light and a flip-out screen for shooting from high or low angles. Add to this full HD video capability and GPS to make managing your images easier, and you've got probably the most flexible all-in-one travel camera there's ever been. For more about the Nikon P900 and all things digital photography, go to dpreview.com.
What we have is the Sony a7 II, Mark II, second generation, whatever.
What we're shooting with today is the Sony a7 II or Mark II or II.
Second generation.
Second generation. The first one's been out for about a year. They followed it with the a7R and then the a7S, and now they have the Sony a7 II. It's a full-frame mirrorless camera, but the big difference from the first generation is the 5-axis image stabilization.
Which is huge, and which really becomes a must-have feature for pretty much every camera going forward, I believe.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to go back. Once you start shooting at 1/10 of a second and getting sharp images, it kind of changes everything.
Yeah, it absolutely does, and it's one of those features that you think you probably don't need, but then as soon as you have it on your camera, it's just like, well, of course.
You don't want to shoot with another camera.
You have to have image stabilization. We're here on Van Brunt Street in front of Fort Defiance, which is some sort of coffee shop. Food, looks nice. I'm not allowed inside. Josh is hooking us up. You have a lot of kind of nice little shops here. You have a bicycle shop across the street and excellent bars and a couple of really great restaurants that mostly are new within the last 5 or 10 years or so.
Got the 55 1.8 on. It's a really nice lens, super fast. The images are really crisp. We'll review them later and see if they hold up, but so far so good.
All right, this camera's got a lot of really nice things going for it. One of the main things, which is an improvement over the last version, is this grip feels excellent. And the weight of the camera, it's not a light camera, but it really shouldn't be a light camera because this is a more pro-geared camera. I mean, maybe enthusiast geared, but it's not a camera that you're gonna throw in your pocket, obviously. It's not a camera that you're really gonna be able to just toss willy-nilly into a bag. It has a real nice weight to it. When you're holding it in your hand, it feels like you've got a good grip on it. It's got a really nice balance. And it's a really nice camera to shoot with.
So we're here at the ball fields in Red Hook, and we want to see how the autofocus performance is on this camera. Having played with it for the last few days, I could say it's pretty good. There are some caveats to that. It actually does better in wider apertures than it does in more closed down apertures like f/16. I have the camera on autofocus continuous. I also have it on the burst speed of high. Now I am shooting raw, so it does tend to fill up the buffer a little. We'll see how that goes. All right, so I followed her and I was tracking, even shooting through the net, and it seemed to stay locked onto her really nice. I'm hitting this center button and going into object tracking mode. You lock onto the object, hit OK, and then you start shooting, and it seems to track it pretty nicely.
The Wi-Fi features in this camera are relatively straightforward, relatively simple, and pretty good. You have an app you have to download onto your phone. It's called Sony
Play Memories.
Play Memory.
Yeah, weird name.
But what it does do is it allows you to connect your cell phone to the camera and over Wi-Fi, and it's quick. The downloading pictures to your camera happens very, very quickly. Mm-hmm. And the app is relatively straightforward if you're using it to download pictures. You can look at all the pictures you've taken and download them to your camera. Now this is if you shoot RAW plus JPEG, which you probably want to do if you're going to be using your phone to upload pictures if you're out in the field, or if you want to show people, you know, if you're at a family gathering or a wedding, you want to show people right away. It's a nice way to do things.
Yeah, and the cool thing about that is you can set the camera up to whatever resolution of JPEG you want. So you could set it to something like, you know, 5 megabytes or something. So the app either lets you choose whatever the JPEG's original size is, right, or just 2 megabytes, which is the default small size.
It doesn't have a lot of settings. It's not particularly fine-tuned, but it works.
It does the trick.
And it's quick, and
yeah,
that's really all that matters.
It's nice.
It does have a feature that lets you shoot through the camera if you want to set it up that way. That doesn't work as well.
Yeah, it's a little lacking. It doesn't let you click to focus, which I would really like because it seems like it would be a pretty easy, you know, app upgrade for them. And then you could actually use it for a function of, you know, being able to shoot. Whereas now you could do it for maybe a tabletop shoot, but that's about it because you can't change your focus point. So it's okay. But the actual sending it to your phone,
quick,
the images,
nice, works well.
That's nice.
Excellent.
We like it.
So we're down here at Widow Jane, which is a combination whiskey distillery and also chocolate bar maker. And they have got this sort of new agey bean to bar concept, which is just one of those things that just takes the farm to table thing just like a little bit too far. Isn't that really how chocolate works all the time? Beans to bar?
I started taking landscape photos. I was always in these really cool places, and I've always wanted to share the beauty of it, show people what I saw with my eyes.
Weddings, you have to be a portrait photographer, a landscape photographer, a macro photographer. If you dig deep enough, every wedding does have a little bit of uniqueness to it.
I really want to produce the best for my clients, and I'm so pleased with the new technology that we have within the Lumix systems.
The great big monster lenses that I used to use are gone. We're shooting smaller cameras, smaller lenses, and getting even higher quality than we used to do with our traditional DSLRs.
I'm always trying to seek out a remote place, untouched and uncivilized, so to say. I've been shooting with the 8-18. It's a new lens from Lumix. It's definitely the go-to lens for all landscapes. It's unbelievable how lightweight the camera systems are. I mean, in my bag I've got 2 camera bodies, 8 lenses. Lightweight is very important because every single ounce you carry is, how much further you can go.
I love the 12-60 because it's a great utility lens. You can shoot wide, and even 60, if you use your feet to zoom, you can get almost every shot you need with that lens.
This is so flippin' good.
These cameras now have no low-pass filter, so the sharpness is actually crazy in these cameras.
The 42.5 I think is probably one of my favorites. Oh, you look so elegant. I have been a photographer for over 25 years, so I've gone through those big cumbersome camera systems. To be able to have a stealth camera body, what more can you ask for?
Good job.
I know the experience that the clients had. The photographs are just going to be everything that they could ever dream of.
I'm using the GH5 with a 12 to 60 millimeter and a GH5 with a 100 to 400. It's absolutely unheard of to shoot big, long telephoto lenses handheld on a platform that is constantly moving. So now I almost never use a tripod. The new technology and the Panasonic cameras that I'm using have hit what I feel is the sweet spot, where the sensor size is big enough to give you incredibly impressive large prints, but doing it with less strain on my back, less strain on my wallet.
These cameras are half the weight and half the size of traditional cameras.
It really is a perfect camera for a photographer who's looking to do a job, do it well, and have a lot to offer their clients.
I don't know what I would do with a different camera up here, I mean, nowadays everything's built right into this Lumix camera.
Panasonic.
Capturing the light and the darkness. A camera designed to realize creative dreams and bring a world of color and vibrancy to life. Creating visions for the future. We believe that a high-performance lens is essential to the pursuit of unprecedented image quality for filmmakers and photographers. To enjoy a greater freedom for lens design, we have developed the 54mm large diameter mount inherited from the EF mount. From large aperture lenses that provide sharp images to f2 zoom lenses that offer beautiful bokeh, we've realized lenses that could not be achieved with previous lens mounts. To make these lenses possible, we've created a new camera system that enables maximum optical performance, the EOS R system. At the core of this breakthrough in optical design is the large 54mm diameter mount, augmented by a short back focus through the use of mirrorless technology. Yet high image quality is only one of our goals. Ease of use takes precedence over design, and we are constantly seeking to enhance usability. Users will be able to keep their eye on the viewfinder and their focus on their subject, thanks to intuitive dial placement and new features, including a control ring made possible by the introduction of the new RF mount communication system. While the EOS R system is compatible with our extensive EF and EFS lens lineup via a choice of adapters, it's an innovative optical system that sets a new standard and opens up exciting possibilities to those seeking to capture their creative visions.